The following program contains sexual content. Viewer discretion advised. Today on an all-new Dr. Phil.
My stepdad is guilty of molesting me and my sisters.
He pushed me on the bed, kissing me all over and grabbing my chest.
It used to always start off like doing feet rubs.
But then it goes further.
He would slowly start moving his hand up.
You feel that you have been falsely accused.
100%. These women have lied to put me in jail.
He is here today to face his accusers and clear his name.
You know what you did.
I didn't do what you said I did.
Oh, yes, you did. I am not a liar. I am a strong, powerful woman, despite all the crap that you did to me.
Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today is going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Today is a very important day for a family because we are unraveling a drama that has lasted decades and shattered the lives of these beautiful sisters. Jessica and Amber say when their mother married Steve, they thought they had won the stepdad lottery. He was a hard-working man, religious, on his way to becoming an elder in the church. But behind closed doors, these sisters say their new father preyed on them with tickle games that they claim went too far. Finally, a school official called CPS, Child Protective Services, to investigate, which led to Steve's conviction of sexual abuse. Now, normally, it is the victim of a story like this that writes to me for help, but that's not what happened here. It was Steve who sent me an email claiming he has tons of court documents and evidence that will prove that he is innocent. He is here today to face his accusers and clear his name. Now, Steve's stepdaughters say they are disgusted that he will not admit wrongdoing and is basically calling them liars and victimizing them all over again. Here's their story.
My mother's ex-husband, Steve, was a sick, abusive narcissist.
When Steve came into our lives, the inappropriate touching started shortly after.
The molestation happened from the time I was 9 or 10 years old up to 16 years old. It would happen at night when we were watching TV and nobody else was around. Steve would start at my feet, rubbing it, and he would start working his way up my leg towards my private part. He would pretend to be sleeping, but I knew he was awake because I could feel his hand start to shake.
Steve would use tickling as a game, as an excuse to touch us. He would eventually use his fingers to touch in between my legs. The last time that he had tried something on me, I was around 16. He pushed me on the bed and kind of pushing himself up against me and kissing me all over and grabbing my chest. And you could tell that he was excited. And I remember like kicking him and running out of the house. I remember calling my mom and telling her what happened. Steve was arrested around May of 2000. Steve took a plea deal. He acknowledged the state had enough evidence to convict him, but he was not admitting guilt. Steve didn't receive any prison time. It made me feel horrible and defeated.
After all these years, I still haven't gotten over what Steve's done to me.
I want him to take responsibility for what he did.
Well, Jessica and Amber's younger sister, Brittany, says she too was molested by Steve, but never pressed charges. She's speaking out for the first time today. So, guys, first off, I'm really sorry that we're here talking about, I wish we were talking about something else, because I know this is difficult and it's been painful for a long time. Why do you want to talk about it now instead of a year ago or 2 years from now? Why now?
He's actually the one that contacted the show, and I don't want to give him any more, power anymore. I just want it to be done and over with. It's been like so long, and it's just like move on, but he's just not that type of person that will do that. So it's just kind of like, I've thought if we all could just, and it's been hard. We've all wanted to not do it. And I said, if we all just can stick together.
Right. Each of you have experiences here that differ in time, differ in what you say happened across that time. And this wasn't a one-time experience. This spanned a period of years. For you, what years are we talking about?
I was 9, 10 years old.
Okay, you were 9 or 10 years old. And listen, I'm not going to ask you to be graphic here. I'm not going to ask you anything embarrassing, any details like that. But basically, tell me what the situation was in the household at the time, and tell me how you perceive him to have gotten to you. What happened?
It was just almost kind of like we were forced to call him Dad right off the bat. We went from living in California with my dad to, coming back, and now we have a stepdad. It was just kind of like, it was so quick.
Well, tell me about that first time. What do you remember about that?
The first time we were watching, TV, and I was on the floor, and I remember him touching me. Are we on the couch? No, I ended up on the floor, but and all this stuff, just talking about it from the beginning, I've forgotten and buried so much stuff, because it's I don't know if that's how it just helped me move on, but I've really buried a lot of stuff. And when I told my mom the first time it happened, he said, "Oh, I thought that I was obviously sleeping, and I thought it was your mom," or he was telling her "I thought it was you." Mm-hmm. And then. Okay,
and were you laying with him?
Mm-hmm, on the couch.
So you're on the couch, and is he laying beside you, behind you?
It used to always start off if you were doing feet rubs. So my feet were over here, and his feet were on this side, and that's how it would start. And he would slowly start moving his hand up towards our private area.
This goes on for a period of 5 or 6 years.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Okay. And Amber says Steve would say, "Let's tingle each other." What does that mean? What's that supposed to mean?
It's getting chills. If someone's rubbing up and down your arms or legs, you kind of get goosebumpy, and he would call it tingling.
And you were how old at the time?
I want to say it was around 6 or 7 when it all started.
Okay, and this is just a game, right?
He'd make it like a game or tickling or...
Okay, but then it goes further. Mm-hmm. In what way?
He would take his hands up and down your legs until he got into your private area.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember when it first happened?
There's vague nightmarish type memories, and then there's very vivid.
Uh-huh. And you said that he would dress in a way that he would expose himself.
Mm-hmm. He had these jean shorts that barely covered himself, and he would lay on the couch in a way he would roll his leg open, and then you could see his private parts.
Was it purposeful?
Oh, yes.
He disgusts me. He told me that he was going to kidnap my sisters, kill them, save my mother for last, kill her, and then kill himself.
He told me he knew where to hide bodies.
And later...
You are lying about that. I never have done anything to you, ever.
Really? Really? You know what you did.
And I didn't do what you said I did.
Brittany, are you doing okay?
Uh-huh. Just breathing.
Yeah. Brittany says Steve bounced her on his hip and asked, "Where does that feel good?" This started at a very young age, right? Tell me about it.
I was 4, I think. 4, that's when those particular things that I can remember took place. That's how it kind of started, the tickling. Same thing that they're saying, exact same stuff. He's disgusting and very physically abusive as well.
I think she got the more physical stuff, for sure.
Absolutely.
And tell me about the physical abuse.
When I was 4, me and my younger sister, Jamie, his daughter, were just being children and arguing, and I pushed her on her butt, and she landed on her diaper, and bottom, and she went and, told him, Brittany pushed me, or whatever it may have been. Don't remember that part very clearly. I do very much remember being dragged down the hallway, put into a room. I believe I'm saying this correctly. And he pulled my pants down, and he beat me with a bar from a bunk bed. And I remember trying to, cover myself, saying, "Daddy, no." And that was just regular. He was very abusive, but I will never forget that. I couldn't sit for a really long time. I was blistered and bruised, and it was horrible. And he was very physically abusive. I would be afraid when he would come home, and I would hide because he beat me so often, a lot. And it's just, he's an animal. And I don't want to see him. I'm uncomfortable with all of it. I don't even want to look at him. And what I hate about this the most is that he gets to see that he affected me in that way, because he didn't have to see how much he affected me. I'm a strong woman now, and I've grown beyond those things, but he still gets to know with this right now that he got to do this, and he gets satisfaction out of that, and I hate that.
On the sexual side, you said he would kiss you. Describe that.
Kissing, mouth to mouth, tongue goes in the mouth. Very often he did that, a lot. It's very, very, same thing they were saying. He'd tickle, he'd put his hands up, he'd be, you'd be aware that he's aroused, I'm not sure. And he did that a lot. And also the other sick part about that was he enjoyed tickling us to the point where we were in tears because it was so uncomfortable. And he liked that. You could see it in his eyes that he was enjoying that we were miserable. He's like I said, he's a monster. He's so manipulative and narcissistic. I don't want to even look at him. He disgusts me.
In a moment, I'm going to add him to this conversation. And I have a rule that I don't ever want to put someone that is perceived to be an abuser by the victims. I'm loath to put an abuser in front of their victim unless it's what you want to do, unless it's something that you feel is cathartic for you, something you want to do and need to do. And you're saying that you have a problem with it. Are you okay with doing that?
If I need to step away to excuse myself for a minute, then I will. But I can, before he comes out, I would like to say something that I had a fear of. Initially, when all this happened, and got brought into it, I backed out and said I wasn't going to do this. And then last minute, I changed my mind because I wanted to support my sisters and because he just needs to be it needs to be stopped. But I had a fear of him trying to kill us after this because of something he said to me when I was 17. It was on the phone. He told me that he was going to, so this was 13 years ago. He told me that he was going to kidnap my sisters, these two, my mother, and that he was going to record them saying that my mom made them say those things, kill them, save my mother for last, torture her slowly, and have her also admit that she made them say these things, kill her, and then kill himself. And he likes to put fear in people, so he could just be talking, but at the same time, I have no idea if this could be the thing to set him over the edge, to make him actually try to kill us, like literally try it. He said that his ex-wife talked him out of it. He was in the van, the gun was loaded, he had the camera, everything was ready, and she talked him out of it.
And she's not the only one that he told that to. He told that to.
He told me he knew where to hide bodies.
You what?
He told me he knew where to hide bodies.
But he told his other daughter, our sister Jamie, the same exact thing, that he was in a real dark place, and he was that close.
Well, I think in light of that, I'm going to call an audible here. And when we come back, I'm going to talk with Steve alone, without these young women here, and see what he has to say about that and a few other things before we convene together. So we will meet him next, just the two of us. We'll be right back.
I have evidence that these women have lied to put me in jail. For the first time ever, they have to face me now. They need to tell the truth. I've never molested anybody.
And later,
Of course I'm gonna yell and be upset. I haven't seen you since I remember these things. You think I'm gonna be calm? You tortured me as a child. You beat me.
Beat you.
I really regret recanting my story at Steve's parole hearing. The only reason why I recanted is because I felt a lot of family pressure. People on Steve's side of the family were still like, he's already charged, it's not gonna hurt to recant and just make peace. Steve is now using my story as more ammunition to say that it didn't happen, and that's not the truth at all. Steven is guilty of molesting me and my sisters.
Brittany, Amber, and Jessica all say their stepfather, Steve, ruined their childhood and that he is a molester who won't admit any wrongdoing. Steve says he wants his name cleared, and he is adamant that these sisters are lying about the abuse. Here's what he has to say.
I've never molested anybody. I have evidence that these women have lied to put me in jail. There were 6 children in the house. We would watch television together, horseplay together. There were never one-on-one sessions where it was just me and them alone. When Amber had accused me of touching her, I had already moved out, and Amber was living with her grandmother. Amber came over to where I was staying and asked me if I wanted to go to the movies. If I had been molesting Amber, as she stated, almost daily for 10 years, now that she's finally living with her grandmother, safe away from the monster, why would she come to that home alone with me? She said that when she came over, I pinned her down on the bed, and she did some kind of Bruce Lee move, and she just flips me off of her, and she ran out of the room. Truth is that I told her I was leaving her mother, the marriage was over with, and she called her mother, and her mother told her to lie about me. Melanie did not want me to leave her, and was going to show me what happened when my loyalty was gone to her. All the accusations from Jessica and Amber were derived from their mother. I was eventually sentenced to 5 years in prison, and after 2.5 years, I was eligible for parole, and I was surprised that Jessica was there, and she recanted and told them nothing had ever happened. Jessica's the only one that's recanted. I don't know how Amber can sleep at night and still hold to her heart that I'd ruined her life, when in fact it's the other way around. What Amber and her mother have done to me is a crime. For the first time ever, they have to face me now. They need to tell the truth.
Well, Steve, you feel that you have been falsely accused, right?
Yes, sir.
100%.
100%.
And that they're all in on it.
Yes.
They've influenced each other, and their mothers influenced them.
Yes.
And the whole thing. Do you believe they believe what they're saying?
It's possible. The mother started them at a very young age, and I even sent into your show that one of Melanie's relatives wrote a written statement to the court saying that Melanie told her, "My daughter is so beautiful, one day she'll be raped."
Mm-hmm. But one of the things, I was going to have everybody out here together and talk about this, but Brittany was describing at the end some very specific threats that she says that you had made in the past about kidnapping, killing, and torturing all of them, and that you had made that threat to multiple people. What did you say, and who did you say it to?
Well, first of all, Brittany, I was taken aback by her statement that I was listening backstage to. She was never involved in any of this, and for her to say those things that I did, that is all brand news to me. I'd never heard those things that she had said. They were never brought up in any court situation, and the only time that Brittany made a statement against me was that apparently she was run away from home, and she was shoplifting and things, and she was having trouble, and her mother was in the hospital with her, and she told her mother then that the reason I'm doing all these things is because Steve molested me. But then she pulled it back, and Amber said in a police statement that, oh, it wasn't Steve's, it was some guy in school. So just for that part. Now, when I lost my daughter, Jamie, last time I saw her, she was 10 years old, up until she was 24. That hurt me more than anything they could have ever said that I ever did to them. That was so painful, and I never told any of them that I was going to kill them. I never told Melanie, I never told Amber or Brittany or them that was going to happen. But
Who did you tell?
I may have told my daughter, Jamie, years later. She contacted me when she was 24.
But you told Jamie that you were going to kidnap them, kill them, and lastly, torture and kill their mother?
I didn't say anything about torture, but I did say I was in a dark place, and losing my daughter could have pushed me over the edge.
And push you over the edge was to kidnap the two sisters and their mother and kill them.
Well, the mother. She was the main one. I'll admit, I had some very dark thoughts. Very dark thoughts. I was ready to die, but my wife convinced me that I would just murder her, and I would be on the run and have to kill myself. And please don't do it. I was drinking pretty heavily too.
And you had the means to do it. You had a gun and a camera. You were going to make them confess their lies.
I had no gun, no camera, but I was going to record it with a recording.
You were going to record it. And how long ago was that?
It was 2000, 2001. It was when I lost my daughter. It was when they told me I couldn't see her anymore.
Right. I understand that's very disturbing to lose a child and contact with a child. I get it. I'm a dad. I understand that. But you understand that's really poor judgment, and that's a terroristic threat.
It's terrible.
And I'm not trying to get you in trouble. The statute is long run. That's 17 years ago. That's not an issue in any kind of criminal sense. I'm just saying that's really poor judgment.
Yes, sir. My attorney beseeched me saying that, Stephen, there's 27 counts or 28 counts against you. Had I seen what I have now, I would have said, no way, let's fight it.
Closed captioning provided by Steve says that he has had his dignity shredded and that he just can't move on. And when you're saying you didn't do any of this stuff and then you've had it all put on you, and you took an Alford plea, right?
Yes, sir.
And for people that don't understand, an Alford plea is when you maintain your innocence, but you essentially take a guilty plea because you say the evidence is so overwhelming that your likelihood of being convicted is so great that you'll take a lesser sentence rather than what you're likely to get, even though you do not ever say you did it, you don't ever say you're guilty, you maintain your innocence, and the Supreme Court has held that that's a doable thing.
I was not aware of that one part of it, that the evidence was so overwhelming. My attorney beseeched me saying that, Stephen, there's 27 counts or 28 counts against you. They're both pregnant. They're both going to get up on that stand and they're going to be showing pregnancy. They get up there and cry. You get one count against you, you're going away forever. This plea allows you to never admit that you did it, and then you can still find a way to gather evidence in the future and fight this case and
Well, what he's telling you is what I just said. You're going to have some overwhelming evidence here. Your likelihood of getting convicted is really big, and the penalties would be really huge. You'd go away for a long time.
Well, had I seen what I have now in that box that I've been carrying around ever since this has been over with, I would have said, no way, let's fight it. And I did tell the judge that. Before I was sentenced, I told the judge, I want to go to trial. And he said, no, you will not. I've already accepted your plea and you can't do it. So I did want to fight in the end.
Okay, but you took an Alford plea, which
Yes, sir.
is, you took the plea, but yet maintained your innocence.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Now, you made these statements, which are terroristic threats. You said you were drinking a lot. You were in a dark place. It was a long time ago.
But not to them. I never made it to them. Not a single one of them did I ever threaten. They heard it secondhand from somewhere.
That's a distinction without a difference. When you say you're going to kidnap somebody and kill them, whether you say it to them or about them, is a distinction without a difference. What I'm saying is you said that a long time ago, but you disavow that now. You don't have threat in your heart about
No,
these
sir.
girls.
Absolutely not.
Because I'm
Not
trying to
one.
make that determination,
Not one.
because if you do, they're not coming out here.
Not one, sir.
It's just that simple. That's bad judgment.
It was.
And you acknowledge it's bad judgment, and you're wanting to dance on the head of a pin and say, I didn't say it to them, I said it about them. I'm just saying, whether you said it to them or about them, you acknowledge that's bad.
Yes, sir.
You shouldn't have done that.
Absolutely.
And that's not where you are now. What you're doing now is trying to prove your innocence, not exact your pound of flesh and revenge
No.
by committing murder, kidnapping and murder.
No.
You're rational enough that that's not on your list of,
It hasn't been for a very long time.
okay, I believe you. I'm just trying to say, I don't know why you're arguing about first, second, third person. That's off your list.
Yes, sir.
It has been for a long time.
Long time.
Okay, gotcha.
Long time.
Just want to clear that up.
Suicide was also on my list without any harm to them. And
I assume that's
also
off
off my list.
I hope so. Seriously. Okay. All right. Coming up, today is the first time the women are all together to confront Steve, and for Steve to confront the women. He's the one that wrote in, not them. He wrote in and said, I want this forum. I want this to go public. I want to talk about this. Now, I dismissed them to make sure that everybody had a rational mindset here. After the break, we're going to all be back together. We'll be right back.
You know what you did.
And I didn't do what you said I did.
Oh,
I
yes,
was not
you did. I am not a liar.
Closed captioning provided by I'm back with Steve, who has been accused of and taken a plea for molesting members of his family, daughters. He's a registered sex offender, and he is the one that is written in because he says that he has been falsely accused, has been falsely convicted, and has the evidence to prove it. Someone asked Brittany, Amber, and Jessica to rejoin me. Let's see. Okay, how long has it been since y'all have all been in proximity to one another?
Court.
I saw him about a year ago.
How long since you've
Very
been?
young. I was very young. I don't remember.
Okay. Steve, you wrote in because you say the allegations against you by these two, and you've now heard anew from Brittany, are absolutely false.
Yes, sir.
What do you want to say?
First of all, I'm going to apologize for that terroristic threat that was made many, many years ago.
To me, that you said I lied about? You want me to refresh your memory? It was when I was asked by your mother and my sister to say on a videotape that you never molested me, and that's because I didn't remember. And then
Lied
you
about
on
that.
the phone.
You are lying about that. I
You're full-
never have done anything to you ever.
Oh yeah? Really?
Never.
Really? Really? You did
Absolutely.
not beat me? You did not say disgusting things to me? You did not
Disgusting
tickle
things.
me? You did not
Yeah, I
press
tickled
your
you.
into
No, I did never.
Please.
Your
Oh,
mother
yeah?
didn't smash your and Jamie's heads together where
Yes.
you had an egg on your face that
And
you
I
couldn't go to
knew
school?
you would mention that. Is that all you
Did you know I was
Yeah,
mentioning that?
she did that. What's
Your
your
mother
point?
got into all your faces, spit in Jessica's face, pulled her hair, they got
What does
cat
that
fights
have to do
together.
That has nothing
She's
to do
talking
with
about
you.
And why did you lie?
I didn't lie.
I have your paperwork where you
Good
lied.
for you. I didn't
You made
lie.
things up.
No, I didn't.
You would tell one person you saw me naked. You would tell another you didn't see me naked. You would tell a forensic CPS worker one thing, and you were so afraid when you found out she was a forensic CPS worker. You're like, oh my gosh, I've seen all those movies. And every time you say I did something to you, he came in the room naked, and that's all I can remember. Just like it cut to commercial.
No.
Hold on, I
No,
wasn't
you didn't-
done
you-
addressing the threat.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, go ahead. Address
You
the threat.
said to me on the phone that you were going to kidnap my mother and my sisters. And yes, you absolutely said these things. You said that you were going to kill them, but first, let me finish.
I'm not arguing that point.
Let me finish. You said you were going to murder them, make them first confess that my mom manipulated them, and then you said you were going to save my mom for last, slowly torture her, kill her, then kill yourself. You trying to say that you did not say that to me?
I'm not saying that I said those exact words, but maybe if I said it,
I will never forget
I was in a bad
that.
place.
You know why I will never forget it? Because that had a lot to do with why I didn't want to come on this show and see your disgusting face, because I don't want you trying to do anything to any of us after this, because maybe this will be the thing that
I
makes
wouldn't
you
vindicate
snap
you
and
that
kill
way.
people.
I wouldn't do that.
Really, Steve?
Yeah, yeah.
But yet,
I'm in a much better place than I was back then.
oh yeah? That's
Yes.
good. That's good. Good for you. You're a piece of crap.
Well, you're a liar.
I'm a
You're a
liar.
liar. You are a liar.
You
Okay.
are
I'm
disgusting.
done
Okay,
talking
whoa, hold on.
You know what you did.
And I didn't do what you said I did.
Oh,
I was
yes,
not a-
you did. I am not
Prove
a
it.
liar.
I can prove you got.
Prove what,
When did
Steve?
you come into this?
What are you going to prove?
When did you even come into this?
Because I
Where have you
remember
been for
things
years?
when I was 19 to 20. I started having flashbacks
Oh,
of the
flashbacks of
disgusting
your
crap
mother?
you did. No, not my
have
mother. I
proof that
wasn't
she
even talking to my
manipulated
mom back
every
then.
single one of you. I
Bull
have
crap.
proof.
Bull
I have
crap.
proof. She's done it since she was 15 years old. That's when it
Yes.
started.
So you're saying our mother
Groomed
got
you.
us to say all these things, and that she
Groomed you over the
brainwashed all
years.
of us?
Absolutely.
No.
This is your news to
You're
me.
the
This is
brainwasher.
news to me.
That's because I never was
You
going to
just
do
jumped on
anything
the
about it, because I
bandwagon.
was trying to heal from this, and I felt I was beyond these things. But then when I found out you're calling my sisters out and
right.
I never did anything, you're damn right I'm going to come up here and say something
You
for
can
them.
just yell and be all
Sorry,
you
Cynthia.
want. Oh my goodness.
Of course I'm going to yell and be upset. I haven't seen you since I remember these things. You think I'm going to be calm? And listen to the lies you're spewing. You're just all sitting back there shocked.
Wait till you
listening
see the
to things
paperwork.
you
Wait
say.
till the paperwork comes up.
What paperwork, Steve? Saying what? Enlighten me.
lies. The
What
lies.
lies? I can't stand you because you tortured me as a child. You beat me.
Beat you. Beat you.
The example, you want me to talk about that again?
I heard
Remember the
what
bunk
you said.
bar? Bunk bar? The bunk bed situation?
Did you bring that thing up about your mother? Or is this, or
This
did I
isn't
have to
about
say it?
Melanie,
Yes,
Steve.
it is
This is
about
about
Melanie.
you.
No, it's not about
Yeah,
me.
it is.
No,
Yes,
you
it
were
is.
brainwashed. There's
You
something
were-
wrong with you.
I literally think you can't handle, no offense to you, his level of crazy is just a whole nother situation.
Oh, wow.
But you know what else? You know what else? You have convinced yourself that you are innocent. I truly do believe that.
Almost all the time I was there, she vied for my love. If I was such a monster, why would she want my affection?
You hear yourself? I was a child.
If what both of you are saying is true, if you really believe that she's convinced herself of something that isn't true, but that she believes it, then I don't understand why you would be indignant about it. And if he has convinced himself of something that he believes is true, I don't know why you would be indignant about it. Because if each of you believe something to be true, then of course you would embrace your position.
Exactly.
I mean,
Can I
you're
say something she did?
contradicting yourselves.
The only thing about Brittany is that she, for almost all the time I was there, she vied for my love. She tried to cuddle up to me. She tried to get close to me. And I really didn't let her because of the way that she treated my daughter, Jamie. She would do things to her on purpose I clip her feet with the shopping cart going through the thing, to clip her back of her feet, just to pain her, to hide her toys, and then some miraculously find them after Jamie was crying. And I knew that she was doing these things to Jamie, and I didn't appreciate it, but I didn't treat Brittany the way a child should have been brought up by a stepfather with love. She got her love from Melanie. She didn't really get it from me, but she always came to me and wanted my love. But now I hear another story from her, a completely, totally different story.
Okay, and
that's all I wanted to say about that.
And your point?
My point is if I was such a monster, why would she constantly want my affection? And my love from her?
I was a child without a father.
Well, I don't know whether you're
disgusting. Is that your argument?
I don't know whether you've done any, all, or part of the things that you're accused of doing, but you have the worst judgment of anybody I can imagine. Are you seriously asking me why a child would vie for a father figure's love?
What I meant was is that
you're asking me that question?
As a child, she wasn't trying to stay away from me and hide from me. It was exactly the opposite. That's what I'm saying.
Oh my God.
And you're asking why a child would do that?
Why was she kind of here by saying that she would hide and want to not be near me, but yet she did the total opposite.
And did I not say that you were my father? And obviously, you hear yourself? God, I was a child. I did not know any better. I didn't know what was supposed to be life. I didn't know how things were supposed to be. I didn't know anything. That was your guys' job. And you did a really crappy job with that. But you know what? Despite all the crap you did, I'm beyond that crap now. And I am a strong, powerful woman despite all the crap that you did to me. So thank you for trying to break me. Good effort.
I didn't do
but
anything
it didn't work.
I did nothing to you like
Good
that.
efforts. Didn't work.
All right. Steve's point is that his conviction was orchestrated by these girls' mother. That's what Steve thinks. And he says that she's programmed them, groomed them, put thoughts in their mind that whenever he began to pull back from her, whenever he said he was going to leave her, that she vindictively programmed them to say horrible things about him. And I'm going to tell you, I've been doing this for over 40 years. I have seen that happen more than once. Did it happen here? We'll find out. We'll be right back.
Steve denied that he had done anything to Jessica and said that she was simply misinterpreting what he had done. I believe Steve because he had joined the church and he said he wouldn't do anything like that, and he actually called my daughter an evil seed.
Closed captioning provided by... Well, we ran out of time today, and there is so much more to this story. Steve blames his stepdaughter's mother, Melanie, for orchestrating his conviction. Is she to blame, or did he do everything he is accused of? We'll meet Melanie, plus there is one more daughter we have yet to meet. Jamie is Melanie and Steve's biological daughter. You'll be surprised to hear where she stands on all of this. You do not want to miss tomorrow. We'll see you then.